So I think this pandemic has made it pretty clear that we need universal health care in this country. Um, it has completely ravaged lives. We obviously have had the worst response as a nation to this crisis, but it's exacerbated by the fact that we tell people that if you want to get treated, if you're sick and or hurt or ill, if you want to get treated, you got to pony up some cash first. So we're the only developed nation that does that, and I've had conversations with people who aren't very politically inclined, and if they don't support single payer, they what they usually say is, well, I don't know what the solution is, but I know that socialist takeover of the government, et cetera, of healthcare. That's just stop. First off, single payer is the solution. It's what the countries that have the best healthcare systems in the world have a single payer healthcare system. Now, if another country does something better than us, and there's stats to back that up, if other countries don't have 500,000 people that go bankrupt from medical bankruptcies every year, or the 40 to 60,000 people that die every single year because they just don't have access to healthcare and they're dying preventable deaths. The other countries, those countries, France, the UK, South Korea, Cuba, like all these other countries, they don't have this issue. We have this issue here because we have corruption within our government. That's why we have this issue here. And so, yes, the coronavirus pandemic was exacerbated in this country because there are people who ostensibly won't go to the doctor even if they feel ill because they can't afford it. They simply can't afford it, and they lost their job, and they already can't afford their healthcare expenses. So they're on top of that. Maybe I just won't go to the doctor for a week and a half until it gets really bad, and by that time I've already spread it to who knows how many people. So we need single payer in this country, and there's 70, I think it's 90% of Democrats and a majority of Republicans also want this. Yet we don't have people within the government, the people taking money from the pharmaceutical industry and the healthcare insurance companies. Those people don't want single payer because the people opposed to single payer help bankroll their elections. That's how they stay in power, right? Earning money off of your tax dollars. So the game is clear here. The solution is clear. And when people ask me, what do you think we should do as far as like third party or should we stay within the Democratic Party? What should we do? I say, look, I think you have to attack it from all fronts. Start the third party, pressure the Democrats from outside the party. If there's, the progressives within the Democratic Party should be pressuring the Democratic Party from the left, right? Pushing them left to be more left. So I say it's an all hands on deck approach, right? Like, why not? Like, throw whatever at the wall, see what sticks. At this point, what do we have to lose? So there's state single payer in 3 states right now that's being proposed. Whole Washington, which is, I believe it's SB 5204 there in Washington. They're trying to pass that. So 100% if you're in Washington, get on board, volunteer, donate, push this within your state. Who knows? Like if we get a few states that have single payer and show the rest of the country how much better it is than having a private health insurance mafia tell you that you can't get covered even though you've been paying them for months, years, decades potentially. This can potentially be a fix or a step in the right direction to get us, single payer nationally. So whole Washington, that's the push there in Washington to get single payer there. There's a New York Health Act, which is within the New York State Legislature as well. They're trying to pass that in New York. So if you're in New York, make sure you volunteer, donate for them, get that passed in New York. That would be huge, huge for the country. And I'm actually proud to say that I know the person or the state assembly member, Ash Kalra, I think it is. He authored AB 1400 here in California to have state single payer here in California. Guys, this is so important. This is a huge monumental issue for so many people in this country. So many people have horror stories dealing with our health insurance industry. Yeah, I mean, you can talk to any, like, I guarantee you every single person in this country knows someone who has had a horrible experience with their health insurance companies. A lot of people probably know people that had to take out second mortgages or just file for bankruptcy because of healthcare costs. It's inhumane. It's unbelievable that we don't have it here in this country in 2021. There are certain countries that got this in the 1900s, guys, the 1900s, and we still don't have it here. So we need to keep pushing for it. We need to put pressure on the Democrats who are in office right now to pass single-payer healthcare. They can do it. They have the power to do it. And if they don't do it, it's on them. If they don't do it in these next 4 years, we might not get single-payer until the 2030s, and who even knows if by then. Okay? So this is urgent, and there's no better time than right now when we're in the middle of a pandemic. 500,000 people have died in this country alone. There's no better time to push for this. We need this. Single-payer healthcare, okay? New York Health Act is up. Whole Washington is pushing for it in Washington. That's SB 5204. And Ash Kalra and some of the Democrats in the Democratic legislature out here in California are pushing AB 1400. Call your representatives. Get them on board with this, okay? This is important. We need this in this country to get us to take a step in the right direction to actually represent our citizens and have a humane answer and solution to healthcare.